everyone. Brother Al McClaney with this week's stewardship video. And before we go too far, let's read the disclaimer. No advice should be seen as recommendation or an endorsement, as I am not a licensed financial advisor, and this is for educational purposes only. If you have a license, advisor or someone you use in that capacity. That's what they're there for. Make sure you leverage them. And so this week's stewardship video is focused on habits. And I use Daniel chapter 6, verse 10 in the Message Bible as a backdrop. It says, when Daniel learned that the decree had been signed and posted, he continued to pray just as he had always done. His house had windows in the upstairs that opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day, he knelt there in prayer, thanking and praising his God. And when you get a chance in your own personal Bible study time, which I hope you have, if not, I would encourage you to create the habit of that, of having a consistent Bible study. Go and read all of Daniel 6. And this is a story or scripture verses that we all learn even as children, ending where Daniel ended up in the lion's den. And a decree had been signed by the king after being tricked by some advisors who were jealous of Daniel, basically saying that in this land only one true God could be, or one God could be worshiped, and that would be the king himself. Well, Daniel worshiped the one true Lord, the one true God, and he had a habit of each day praying 3 times a day. So I underline, he continued to pray just as he had done always, just as he had always done. And then it says 3 times a day he knelt. So I got to thinking about habits. Now, this is a spiritual habit that we all should have, consistently praying. Other ones would include reading scripture, having meditation and personal Bible study, doing service in the name of the Lord. These type of things are spiritual habits. Well, I was reading an Instagram posting from Dave Ramsey, and was Ramsey and Solutions at Ramsey Solutions, and it named off 10 simple habits of the average millionaire. And 1 through 10, real quickly, they're avid readers, understand delayed gratification, choose their relationships wisely, stay wisely, stay away from debt, they budget, live below their means, avoid luxury cars, and drive their vehicles a long term, invest in their workplace retirement plan. They look for more ways to earn money, and they give. Right. And you can pause this, take a picture of it. You can go out to at Ramsey Solutions and read more about it. But also part of the post, it said building wealth has almost nothing to do with income or background. It's as simple as living a modest lifestyle that follows a few basic principles. And I highlighted this, adding some of these habits, and it's referring to the 2 simple habits of average billionaire, adding some of these habits into your daily routine could help you get on track to becoming an everyday millionaire yourself. So I looked at these, and there's nothing hard about them, but it's in other words, there's nothing that's complex about them, but hard to implement maybe and do it in consistency. And I looked at the avid readers. I would also include not just reading, but learning in general, whether it's taking a class or watching a YouTube video or the videos I've mentioned with if you have a brokerage account, like Charles Schwab has a very large library of videos related to investing, or if you have Fidelity, a large library related to investing, and you can learn from that. So I would say avid readers slash learners, and those are, that's one of the 10 habits. And go through, take a picture of these if you want, study those. You can go out, and I'm going to give you um, a couple of books that relate to the study of millionaires and some of the behaviors and habits that they display. So once again, the base scripture is the Message Bible, Daniel 6 and 10, and Daniel's habit of praying. And I started looking at other habits whether spiritual or in this specific case of 10 simple habits of the average millionaire. And where did they get those from? Well, here's the book, the last book here on this slide, Baby Steps Millionaires. And it goes through the study that they did in which they surveyed and they researched millionaires and how they obtain their wealth and what they do on a like regular basis to maintain that wealth. So that's in that book, Baby Steps Millionaires with Dave Ramsey. And then there are two other books in which the premise is the same thing. They study people of wealth and millionaires, how they get there, what type of habits and behaviors do they display on a regular basis. So Dr. Dennis Kimbro's book, The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. And then a classic is The Millionaire Next Door, Dr. Thomas Stanley and William Danko, where they did an extensive study on millionaires and some of the things that they came up with. And you'll see this depicted in all three of the books that you may think, oh, now that's surprising, is the idea they don't buy luxury cars. These millionaires who are like typically first generation millionaires who earned their wealth and it wasn't through an inheritance or anything like that, they would buy used cars, slightly used cars, 2 to 3 years old. I mean, so that's just an example. So you can, read those books, and all of them I would highly recommend. All of them are really good reads. So with that, let's do, as we always, kind of a switch over and take a look at the market. And we start, as always, by looking at the earnings being reported. And this is the week of January 20th. January 20th, which is Monday, is MLK. All right. So it's a national federal holiday. So the markets are closed, banks are closed. And also simultaneously, it's the inauguration day for President Trump's second go round, not second consecutive term, but second go round as president. That's also on Monday, the 20th. So the only thing that's being reported is I think that's BOK Financial. I never even heard of that company. It's being reported after the close, but there's no closed market because the market's closed anyway. But after that, market reopens on Tuesday the 21st, and you can see all of these companies reporting that are major companies. You've got 3M, you got Netflix, you've got United Airlines, you've got DR Horton, so that's looking at builders. You've got Procter and Gamble, we got Johnson and Johnson, Halliburton, Discover Card, Ally Banking. We've got GE, the aerospace division, Texas Instruments, American Airlines. We've got American Express. So we've got, Healthcare Association, huge companies in the area of technology. Netflix is in that area. Home builders, DR Hun. We've got industrials, which is 3M and Procter and Gamble, and Halliburton is in the energy field, specifically drilling. And then we've got American Express, that's in the financials, Union Pacific's in transportation. So a lot of diverse group of companies, large companies reporting the week of January 20th. The market will move on these for sure. So the other thing I want to look at is as we still enter into 2025, just, what type of strategy you're looking at, what type of things that you may be thinking of when it comes to investing going into 2025. And here's an article I found which lists the highest percentage return stocks for 2024. And this is from US News and World Report. And I put in red, just don't take these at face value. Research them, and you could use a site such as stockanalysis.com, put in this symbol, like here's a symbol APP. Dave, I think that is Wendy's, or maybe that's Dave and Buster's. I don't know. See, I didn't even research these. So I would encourage you to go out and look at these and what you may think of doing, because just because they were up in 2024. These were our highest returning percentages. Doesn't mean that's going to continue, but it could be. It could be what we call a momentum play, where it's in motion that direction going up, and it may continue in that. So that may be a theory. The other one is you may short these stocks. And if you don't understand what I mean by short, that means stay away from this. That's something you may want to learn. And that's an ability to put on a strategy where the stock is going down or that company is going down, and that's the way you're going to make your money. And you could short it by different methods. You could sell a call spread, or you could buy a put spread, or buy a put on it. And if all of those are foreign terms to you, that means stay away from that strategy until you learn it. You can learn it though. And so that may be something you do, saying, hey, this had such a tremendous run. This sizzle, SEZL, was up over 1,000%. It may be time that it's going to turn over and go down. And you learn that strategy and practice it before you use it. And you look at these and say, maybe that's an ability to go the opposite direction. And then the other way was I talked about is what we call momentum, meaning, hey, it's going up. I think it's going to keep going. And so use these stocks as um, just something to generate some thought when it comes to, again, not a recommendation. These, do your own research. The other one is, and we've been talking about this before, and we said simultaneously on Monday the 20th is MLK Day, but it's also Trump's inauguration day. And here's the news highlight saying it's being moved inside. And I saw this on MSNBC. I took a snapshot of it. Corporate America cozies up to Trump. We've been hearing about all these billionaires and CEOs going down to Mar-a-Lago in Florida to, as they have been saying, kiss the ring. In other words, cozy up to President-elect Trump. And so a couple of the companies that could benefit from him being in office, I would take a snapshot of this. Again, do your own research. And it says under President Trump's administration, certain sectors and industries are expected to perform well. And here's a list of this. And where did I get this list? I just used Chat GPT. I just put out stocks that could do well under Trump, under Chat GPT, and it spit out this list of 10. And I'm not going to go through all of them. You can take a picture of them if you like. Some of the obvious ones are his own company, Trump Media and Technology, symbol DJT, and Tesla. We've been talking about Elon Musk. Those are some of the obvious ones. But take a look at it. It even gives like the premise behind it. You can pause it, do your own research again, and see if this is something you may be interested in investing in, or as we talked before, shorting, meaning going the opposite direction of it. And we're going to close out as we normally do. Let's take a look at the overall market. I've been watching the small cap, which is the exchange traded fund symbol IWM. It ended on some buying on Friday and a couple of days leading into Friday. I added this one. This is mid cap. This is mid-sized companies, exchange traded fund, and that symbol is IJH. Same thing. It's doing just like the small cap. And some people always said this is the hidden secret. So not a small company, not a big company, but right in between, middle cap. All right. And then QQQ, that's specifically in technology field. Again, it's also was showing some buying um, going in on the last couple of days. And the last one is SPY, as we always look at the end, S&P 500. These are the 500 largest companies. Again, following all the same correlation with small, medium, QQQ, and SPY, all showing upward trend the last couple of days. And with that, I want to wish everyone and have a happy and safe Martin Luther King Day. If you're off on Monday, my wife, she's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. They're going to be doing a service, and that's what they've been doing in the last couple of years, utilizing it as a service day, ability to return back. And I know a lot of people and organizations have now adopted MLK holiday as a day of service. So with that, everyone, if you are off, have a safe, enjoyable, and if you're doing service, MLK. And we will be, of course, here next Saturday with the stewardship video. And as we always say, remember, Jesus is Lord, therefore he's the owner, but we're his faithful stewards following his principles. And take into consideration in those principles of starting some habits that are spiritual in nature, uh, and also looking at that list that we saw from the Ramsey solutions regarding some habits of what everyday millionaires do. And maybe you can adopt some of those and put you on track for wealth. So see you next week.